I am a messenger of light. I am a pilgrim on the way of love. I do not walk alone, but I know myself as one with all great souls, and one with them in service. Their strength is mine. This strength I claim. My strength is theirs, and this I freely give. A soul, I walk on earth. I represent the One. God moves the world. The past has gone. I am that past. It makes me what I am. The future comes. I also am the coming destiny, and therefore I am that.
One such seeker lives here in this quaint bungalow in Srinagar. Destiny has bestowed this seeker with opportunities and facilities to seek what lies beyond the obvious. Dr. Fida Hasnain is now the single most credentialed person who has an intimate interest and thorough knowledge of the theory that connects Jesus to India. Nicholas Notovich stayed in this monastery for some days. During his stay, he befriended a Lama. The Lama shared some astonishing things with him. He showed him ancient scrolls which mention the story of Jesus in India. There are hundreds and thousands of ancient manuscripts in these archives. They contain discourses of the teachings of Buddha and great Buddhist monks of yore. Many of these manuscripts have come from other Tibetan monasteries and ancient universities like Nalanda of Magadha. Ancient India had several great universities, learning centers and libraries like Nalanda, Vikramshila, Taksashila and Udantpuri. When the Mughals invaded India, they destroyed most of these universities. When the attacks were taking place, many Buddhist monks escaped to Tibet carrying loads of manuscripts and books with them. The Hemis manuscript which Notovich saw was perhaps one of such documents, which reached the Patola Palace in Lhasa. The original Pali version is still supposed to be there. What is in Hemis is a Tibetan translation of the original Pali text. These documents have been seen not only by Notovich but by many others. A disciple of Ramakrishna Paramhans, Swami Abhedananda, went to cross-check Notovich's discovery and published the text in his own book, Journey into Kashmir and Tibet. Many other explorers have also seen these documents. These scrolls also reveal the story of Jesus Christ between the age of 13 and 28 years. It is surprising that the Holy Bible contains no story of Jesus during this period. The scripture is completely silent about these years of Christ. He proceeded toward the east coast of India and reached the city of Jagannath Puri in Orissa. This town houses the ancient temple of Lord Jagannath. Lord Krishna is known as Jagannath here. Puri has been an ancient seat of Vedic culture and studies. This magnificent temple has been in existence hundreds of years before the birth of Christ. Even today, millions of devotees throng the temple, which is highly revered in the entire region. The Hemis manuscript discovered by Nicholas Notovich refers to Jesus as Issa. The scrolls reveal that young Issa studied Vedas in this city of Puri. He also learned to cure by aid and prayers and mastered many other spiritual techniques. Not only did Issa master the Vedic scriptures, he also started preaching their real meaning to the masses. Initially, the priests of Puri welcomed him, but later they grew jealous and started creating troubles. Issa was compelled to leave Jagannath Puri. He then moved to Rajgriha, the ancient capital of Magad. Lord Buddha had lived and preached here for a very long time. In those times, India's Magad Empire was the most advanced and happening place in the world. Magad had some of the best schools of learning. Young Issa is supposed to have attended some esoteric school in this kingdom. He started becoming familiar with the teachings of Lord Buddha. After Rajgriha, Jesus lived in the holy city of Varanasi for a few years. On the banks of Ganga, this city was known as Kashi during those times. Here, Issa studied holy scriptures and other sciences under a guru whose name is said to be Udraka. After some time, he left the city. According to Hemis manuscripts, Jesus came to Ladakh after traveling through Nepal, Tibet and other parts of the Himalayas. He was a great traveler. In fact, some scholars refer to him as the king of travelers. He spent some time in the Buddhist monasteries of the Himalayas and then returned. When Jesus came to Kashmir, Buddhism held complete sway in the region. Together with Buddhism was existing the Vedic culture. So, it is but natural that most ancient records of the arrival of Jesus is found in Pali and Sanskrit documents.
The greatest evidence we have from Vaishya Mahapuran. Then we have the Chinese documents, glass mirror. We have Tibetan, we have Persian manuscripts also. We have manuscripts in Arabic and information about the thing. But the main information, the chief information is from the Sanskrit work Bhavishya Mahapuran.
Bhavishya Mahapuran is an ancient Sanskrit treatise and one of 18 major Puranas. According to some experts like Dr. Fida Hasnain, it was written in the 2nd century AD. This Mahapurana mentions a meeting of Issa Masih with King Shalivahan. Jesus is called Issa Masih in Sanskrit texts. Shalivahan was one of the major kings in Kashmir during the 1st century AD. He had established the rule of the Aryans on this side of the river Sindhu or Indus. The Purana says,
Ekadatu shakadhisho himatungam shamayayo honu desasya madhye vai.
one day King Shalivahan went to the Himalayas. There, in the land of Ladakh, he saw a pious man in the mountains. His skin was fair and he wore white garments. The king asked the holy man who he was.
Ishaputram chamama vidhi kumari garbhasambhavam.
The holy man replied, I am the son of God and am born of an unmarried woman. I have been sent as a prophet to the fallen ones. After the purification of the essence and the impure body, and after seeking refuge in the Vedas, man will pray to the Eternal. The holy man further said that he has been called Issa Masih. This is a very interesting document indeed. It clearly mentions the name of Issa Masih. It also speaks of him as the Son of God and born from an unmarried woman. Glass mirror is another ancient document mentioning the details of Jesus Christ as Yuza Asaf.
The glass mirror is the history of religions written in Chinese, which was translated into Tibetan.
The glass mirror puts Yuza Asaf on the same pedestal as that of Buddha. Mullah Naidari compiled his history of Kashmir in 1420 AD. He writes that Yuza Asaf came to Kashmir during the reign of King Gopananda in the 1st century AD. Mullah Naidari has mentioned that Hazrat Issa, or Jesus Christ, had adopted the name of Yuza Asaf. He mentions Jesus as Hazrat Issa Ruh Allah, meaning thereby Issa, the Spirit of God. Some archaeological evidences also support the arrival of Jesus in Kashmir. This ancient Shiva temple was built in 220 BC. According to historian Mullah Naidari, King Gopananda got this temple repaired in the 1st century. For repairing the temple, Gopananda sought the advice and guidance of Yuza Asaf. This fact is supported by other historical documents too. There are 4 pillars around this temple. There were ancient inscriptions on each of these pillars. Now they have been completely erased. But 2 inscriptions were photographed in 1869 by Henry Hardy Cole, the then Superintendent of Archaeological Survey of India. During this period, Yuza Asaf proclaimed his prophethood, year 54. He is Yuzu, the prophet of the children of Israel. The mason of this pillar, Razi Hashti Zako, year 54. This pillar in honor of Eli Kim, son of Marjan. The inscriptions mention Kashmiri year 54. This corresponds to 78 AD. Thus, the probable year of the arrival of Yuza Asaf or Jesus Christ in Kashmir is 78 AD. There is also a possibility of an interesting link between the Jewish culture and Shaivism. This is the Star of David, the most sacred symbol of the Jews. In Vedic culture, this is the symbol of Shiva and Shakti, the conjunction of masculine and feminine forces which gives rise to creation. The Shiva Lingam in Yonipit is a 3D representation of the same symbol. The Shiva temple of the Gopadri hill also houses a Shiva Lingam. The Shiva angle becomes prominent when we find that there is a mention of Issa in the ancient scrolls of the Nath sect of India. It is an extremely old, secretive and mystic sect of Shiva worshippers. Their ancient book, Nath Namavali Sutra, mentions Issa as Issanath. It says that Issanath finally got settled in Kashmir. Archaeological investigations lead us to another place called Harwan near Srinagar. Adjacent to Harwan is the ancient archaeological site where the fourth great Buddhist council was held in the 1st century AD. These walls of small boulders and pebbles have preserved history which unfolded more than 1,900 years ago. It is a saga of that time when great Kanishka was the king of this part of the world. In the 1st century AD, he convened a great council of Buddhist monks at this very place. Scholars came down from far-off places like Central Asia, China, Sri Lanka and other parts of India. This 4th Buddhist Council is a landmark event in the history of Buddhism. It gave birth to Mahayana Buddhism. Who was the moving force behind the great revival of Buddhism? Such a great insight requires a great personality. Scholars feel that this great personality was none other than Yuza Asaf. The strongest evidence for this are the 2 coins released by Kanishka. One coin mentions Buddho or Buddha. The second coin mentions Yuzo or Yuza Asaf. It is clear that Kanishka respected and adored Yuza Asaf in the same light as Buddha. It is indeed highly fascinating to see one personality of Yuza Asaf uniting Christianity, Buddhism, Vedic culture and Islam together.
Okay, that was a very interesting video. It's based on the teachings that I'm going to be giving during the darshan, and I've had all throughout my teaching I get this question of where is Jesus in connection to Buddhism or Shiva and all the things that I teach about. And in this video you can see documented relationship to both the philosophical, but not just that, but the study and relationship of the ancient architectural and archaeological and the different teachings that are found in the Hindi ancient writings, and going back as far as they have got, the writings still existent. So as they kind of compiled that information and piece by piece put it together, this video is obviously based on that. So the teachings that I'm going to be giving during the darshan is more and more about kind of piecing together. As you see in the video, the track in which Jesus took was a track that included going to his previous incarnation as Krishna and studying for years the recapitulation of the life or the experience, the energy of transmission from that life. And then on from there he went directly to the place in which Buddhism was studied for a great deal of time, and many teachers were in that particular location. So he was there for a few years and then moved on to the place of Srinagar. And so my teachings in this darshan is going to be a synthesis of both Tibetan Buddhism and how the integration of reincarnation and trying to make it a little bit more connected to history and connected to other parallel historical or archaeological systems that we can show that helps to support the reality of not just reincarnation, but the reality of the Tuku reality, the principles behind the avatar, the principles behind incarnation, and the changes in the world. I figure by the end of the darshan, I will have compiled helpful understanding as to the historical qualities of change that took place during the Advents, and how the time of Jesus was actually a recapitulation period, but it wasn't one that was to establish a belief system of complete understanding. So the belief system of understanding has to do with transmission and the lineage and the building toward the future reality of the lineage and its externalization as the hierarchy. So that requires a lot of awakening, but it requires the principles of my having previous incarnations and developed the lineage that we have today. And that lineage is interconnected to transmission, a psychic ability that all of us have in our latent soulful qualities. So the teaching in the darshan is going to be based on the natural awakening inside of humanity in relationship to response to the incarnations, and how Jesus played a pivotal part in relationship to the coming together of Tibetan Buddhism, how Tibetan Buddhism was actually formed and brought into an externalized reality by the commitment that Jesus made to the teachings and the externalizations and the furthering of coming into the externalization of himself as Buddha Maitreya, and the influences, how that integrates together the Hindi relationship of Shiva, the relationship of Soma, the relationship of Krishna, the relationship of the avatar, and how that historically can be shown, but what I'm going to illustrate is that it's done through study. The recapitulation is done primarily by going back to the location in which the teachings were given, and they were put into text and are given by transmission, direct from teacher to teacher, and that's how Jesus received his work and influences that furthered him into the process of taking students. So you can see in this video that he also was the one who established the work of Buddhism in the very beginning stages by putting together the council. He was the one who restored the Shiva reality of prayer and invocation and alignment at the Shiva temple in Srinagar. So he is established in many different areas in that location, but mainly as the recapitulation or incarnation of Shiva and the reincarnation of Buddha and the influence of the teacher Christ, but that synthesis moves on into what is known as Tibetan Buddhism. And it's really not Tibetan Buddhism, it's the Buddhism of the influence of transmission that comes into awakening bodhicitta and entering into the Buddhaic kingdom, another kingdom. And it's not a separate kingdom, but it's an evolutionary kingdom of the soul. So that's the whole darshan is going to be the principles behind that in many, many, many ways in which I'm going to try and illustrate it, including a taking refuge relationship of in teachings that I'm giving, which is tradition, and it's through the lineage of padmasambhava. So everything that the darshan is being put together for is to help illustrate an understanding as to how there is a synthesis, how there is a reality between Jesus Christ and Tibetan Buddhism, and that he actually plays a pivotal part of manifesting Tibetan Buddhism in its present day reality, and why I'm sitting in that reality and expressing the taking refuge reality of Tibetan Buddhism rather than other things. And, so I will help to synthesize and better explain, as I do every day when I'm teaching, the relationship of that. So we're going to go into meditation, and let's see, we're do the invocation and 20-minute meditation, and at the end, I'm going to play the drum, yeah, and that'll be the end. So just relax and focus on the invocation. Okay, just repeat after me the invocation, and we'll begin. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To transform and transmute my feelings and emotions. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. So there is a normal flow of energy in my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, and I am back, and we're going to do the Om. Now take a deep breath, and this is for 20 minutes, and I'll watch the clock, so don't worry about the time, and just follow my Om. Take a deep breath. And just relax. And thank you very much for attending today's little teaching and watching the video and doing the Om as a group is most profound. One day you will totally realize that and how important it is. And TV will not play the part that it does today, and things that are happening today will be more along the line of spontaneous liberation of the fact that we no longer have those habitual, spontaneous, knee-jerk responses to the elemental kingdoms that we, at this point in time, take advantage of in our own personal ways. So in the darshan that's coming up, I'll be teaching a lot about that elemental reality and how the kingdoms are played into the role in which humanity lives. The kingdoms of the mineral, vegetable, the animal, the human kingdom are all together in a very energetic, responsive, coordinated reality. And if the upper kingdom, which plays a very strong part to all the kingdoms, if it plays a role in which has negative imperil manifesting not only into the kingdom, but into the destructive aspects of those kingdoms. The vegetable kingdom by overgrowing crops, and by the relationship of the mineral kingdom by ruining the earth and destroying the oil and destroying the processes which are natural by trees and oxygen and the normal ways in which the earth lives and exists through streams and rivers and all the elements that flow in its right relationship are our job to maintain and be caretakers of. And so as time moves on through monastic reality and development of human kindness, that relationship will move into the elemental kingdoms of incarnations into the kingdom of the soul, which is a fifth kingdom and is a kingdom of saints, a kingdom of beings that caretake the relationship of elements because they care. Their relationship in life is so abundant in their merit that they are part and parcel of the hierarchy, whether they be the first or the second initiation or the third or any levels of initiation. As the future moves forward, the lower first and second initiation will be included in the process of the kingdom of the soul, and many, many people will incarnate and be able, within a lifetime, be able to surface their own incarnation as soulfully incarnated, and by many, many transitions in their awareness and their understanding and their giving and service within humanity on a spontaneous, natural level, because it comes within their karmic life, as dharma. It's not a fanatic thing. It is abundant cooperation and facilitation through God. And God is always the provider, God is always the creator, God is always the manifester of all things. So as time moves forward, we come to appreciate that. We come to not ignore it and become spontaneously aware of it. And in that process, we are more enlightened. We are more inner light than lesser light. And as that quality grows, we inherit happiness and we inherit joy and we inherit, and for long periods of our life, we inherit a peacefulness that is established in the soul. And those are the first two initiations in the future reality when monastic services are brought about, so that these people in their process of their first and second initiations, and those who have already recapitulated, and saints of Tibet and others who are in their third, fourth, and fifth, they're able to recapitulate much easier and facilitate the transmission into humanity, bringing about greater amount of awareness and change, facilitating caretakership onto the planet for the mineral, the vegetable, and the animal kingdom, and the better welfare of the human kingdom. So, and as the kingdom of the soul, it is the caretakership that takes place on. In the kingdom of humanity, that is a place in which we become aware of these realities and these kingdoms, and that we take refuge under the reality of the evolution of our moving into the kingdom and becoming the kingdom of the soul and the incarnation of the reality of the soul. So Darshan will be all about that, and I hope a lot of you attend. The greater that attends, the greater amount in all of us will be in meritorious response. So thank you for attending this, and thank you for the meditation. Enjoy.